What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're back with the regionals question and answer for week number 1, and as you see, we're joined by 3 people like always. You just want to introduce yourself really quick.
Hi everyone, my name's Simon Luong. I play in the Canadian Ontario region. I've won regionals, won states, but my biggest accomplishment is being known as the Plasma King.
Plasma King or Lugia King?
Plasma King. Plasma King.
Okay, Plasma King.
Lugia's tied in with Plasma, so Lugia King doesn't sound as good. Plasma King.
Lugia's pretty legit, man. What's up? I'm Alex Hill. I'm from Michigan. I graduated from Michigan State. Now I always say that I'm from Michigan State, but now I'm graduated. It's sad. I won Ontario regionals last year. That was pretty cool. I'm going to defend my title this year, hopefully.
Not happening. Plasma King!
Dude, if you play Plasma, dude, that'd be legit.
Alright, hey everyone, my name is Ricky. I have no accomplishments whatsoever. I'm a player from Vancouver, British Columbia.
There you go. Alright, so, the very first question from Verbank is, what's the play? Like, straight off the bat, what's the play? No, we'll go with Alex first since he's defending his championship, and he should have some decks ready to go.
What's the play?
Yeah.
Dark something. Like, Trevenant is way too good. It beats like everything. What beats Trevenant? Dark. That's kinda just it.
100%. Dark is just too good. 100%. And you have to counter tree, right? Like, you can't just lose the tree. Yeah. Like, you can't go into auto losing to tree.
It was too strong week 3 of Winter Regionals, and it just beats too much stuff. You can't just take the loss to it.
Yeah, Dark's probably the play, but I don't know if you play it, if you'll be the one who's doing well with it. Like, it's kind of a deck that just does well by the numbers. Like, a lot of people will play it. It's a good deck, but will it be you who wins with it?
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, at the same time, I feel like you can kind of play your regular decks, but kind of tech your deck against tree, like up your Lysandra count to 2, maybe even 3, or your hex counts. What else was there? I forgot my other tech, but yeah, upping your Lysandra count. It's
Hex Maniac?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Put in some rough seas into anything.
Win the Stadium War 100%, and then play more Lysanders. I don't know. It's iffy.
I want to bounce off Alex's idea. Don't put rough seas into anything. Make sure it's a water or lightning deck.
Yeah, that's probably what you should do, actually.
Or if you want to go off Alex's idea, you could play maybe Champions Festival.
Oh, dude, I would play Champions Festival.
That's the one you can throw in anything, not rough seas.
Is that still legal?
Yeah, it's still legal.
Yeah, it was the Worlds promo last year, man.
And it's expanded.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, so let's go to the next question. What are the top decks going to week 1? We've already talked about Dark. We've already talked about Trees, so it's going to be the obvious 2. But what about you, Ricky? What do you think some top decks are going to be week 1?
I think of the decks I have built, I think there's going to be, the top decks will definitely be Yveltal, Trees. I think the third one would be Toad Crobat. 4th will be Raikou Eels, and 5th will be Groudon. I put Groudon pretty low because, although it's a good deck, it's done well. Not many people have access to 4 Tropical Peaches to play it, and you kind of need 4 Tropical Peaches to play it.
Okay. What about you, Simon?
I agree with the trees and the dark, but low key, I think I'm really liking Groudon. It won. Was it week 3? Did Crema win week 3 with?
Week 3.
Yeah, Crema won a week 3, and then Nathan Brower also got 2nd at Florida.
Yeah, it's it has real potential. I think it just destroys Dark. Depends how much they tech against it. And against trees, it's kind of iffy, but your deck's a little more consistent because you have access to those tropical beaches.
Yeah, and, me and Sebastian Crema played the tree versus Groudon matchup.
Yeah.
It's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty close because with trees, you have only like 4 dimension valleys, right? And they play 4 counter stadiums too, and they also have the option of Gaia volcanoing, discarding your stadiums. So you have to play that matchup pretty conservative. If
Right,
they have
so,
like,
you drop your stadiums to use 30s every turn, and then if they run you out of stadiums, then that means, I mean, either I guess they could puzzle stadiums, I guess that's true, but like unless they get their puzzles, but you can't let them puzzle. You don't let them puzzle, and then you get into a point where they can use one Gaia volcano to knock out a tree, but then they have to start two-shotting you, and you can just keep doing 30 a turn, and eventually you'll knock out a Groudon, and then they like can't come back from that.
I don't know, man. The games I played, it didn't turn that way. It didn't go
Yeah,
that way.
eventually they're gonna like run out of energies or stadiums, and then like there's gonna be like some dead turns. You're gonna Lysander around it. Like they're gonna probably bench some Shamans, bench some Wobbuffets maybe or something like that. And
Yeah,
like
but-
eventually, it's a grind. It's just a long.
Oh,
long-ass
it's a grind for sure, but like I've always found Trevenant to be like coming out ahead on that matchup unless I play really badly, like deck myself or something. Like Mewtwo's also super good in that matchup. Like just like sweep out a Groudon from nowhere, and then it
Yeah.
takes them so long to rebuild that I just like snipe for like 30 turns and then I lose.
All right, Alex, do
Yeah.
you have any other decks that might be good?
Genesect is a thing. I don't like it. I think it's actually really bad. I think it loses to everything. Like, Veltal's matchup is not even that good. The Eels matchup is not very good. It can even lose to Groudon. Because, like, Globofet will stop you from red signaling. You can get the Mime down and stop them from, like, breaking your Focus Sash. What other decks are there? Rayquaza is a deck that can be pretty good, but like if any Trevenants are playing hammers, then it just gets wrecked. Night March could be a thing, but again, like that loses a Trevenant. So like, there's a lot of decks that like could show up, but I don't think a lot of them are good just because they don't beat Trevenant.
All right, so here's kind of question when like a talk would have somebody. So going to week 3, everybody thought that say like Garbodor was gonna be like the biggest deck. Like people thought it was gonna be the most played deck. So I don't know if Vesically Flareon was played that much in Florida. I wasn't there, so I don't know how much it was played week 3. Do you think knowing that say like Garbodor is not that great of a deck, it's going to change the appearance of Flareon Vespiquen?
I think it just
and-
loses to Tree, so I wouldn't play it.
Yeah, at Oregon, it was also week 3. A couple people played for Larry on Vespiquen. They didn't do well, and there wasn't a lot of Sableye Garbodor like in the field either. It just didn't perform well.
Yeah, I just didn't know if the deck was dead or not. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know if people actually played it or not. You know.
How popular was it? I wasn't there either. I didn't have any regionals nearby.
I think
What,
like 3 or
Vespiquen?
4 people played. I think 3 or 4 people played it in Oregon, but they weren't like top tier players. So hard to say.
What about you, Alex? Did you go to Florida or no?
Nah,
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
Wish.
Sorry.
I was going to, and then I had an exam scheduled. I had a plane
Um,
ticket bought and everything, and I had to like cancel my plane and go take an exam and pass college.
Yeah, I skipped Worlds because of that same thing. So
Oh, really?
that's lame.
yeah,
Oof.
All right. Well, Alex kind of talked about Raikou Eels a little bit, but is Raikou Eels a good player or not? Let's go with Simon first.
I think it's just a little too inconsistent. It kind of like loses to Tree too, because like it's so you just can't keep up. You have to run heavy supporter lines, but when you run supporter lines, it gets clunky, and I guess the only thing it really beats is Yveltal. Like it's kind of like a rock paper scissors format. I think it's either you play Dark to counter Tree, Tree counters most of the format, or you can play something that loses to Tree and beats Yveltal. Like it's kind of like a rock paper scissors in that sense. But Tree's just a little too Raikou's a little inconsistent for me.
All right.
I haven't had too much experience with it though, but that's from like my limited testing with Tree. I mean with Eels.
What about you, Alex?
I think Raikou is really good, except it loses a Tree, of course. We tested it a bit going into Florida. Christopher Szymanski and his brother Alex played it in Florida. Christopher like tied the last round, and if he wins, he makes cut. And his brother won the whole thing. I mean, in seniors, but I mean, It's actually surprisingly resilient to like Archeops. Like you just hex for one turn, and then you can slam down some eels, and then you just run from there. It's got a decent matchup against Genocide. It's got a decent matchup against Dark. It's got a decent matchup surprisingly against Groudon. You can use the Tynamo with the Spark Tynamo to snipe, and then use the Pikachu to clean up a Groudon. So I mean, it's got pretty decent matchups on the field, but I think losing to Trevenant is just too much to like actually play the deck.
Now, here's my question: even with rough seas, does Trevenant still like just body it? Or is
So
it
the
close?
version we were playing was playing 2 beach and 2 rough seas, and like I think like the beach really helps with setup. You could play 4 rough seas. The problem is 1, finding them, and 2, like eventually you'll get a couple turns where they can't find rough seas, and then you'll just clear their board of eels, and then they'll lose.
Okay. And what about you, Ricky?
Yeah, I had a similar like testing results. It was just if you could find the rough seas, you could win, but you have to have like a good solid turn 1, like bench multiple Dynamos down, turn 2 evolve them, and then be able to like quickly knock out Trevenants, which is really hard to do because the deck is just, I don't know, it feels inconsistent to me because I don't know like what about it makes it inconsistent. It might just be that it plays more supporters than the other like popular decks, and it also plays a Stage 1 line that's clunky if you open with them and not like with Dynamos.
Mhm.
I also found like the fact that it can't really one-shot like big attackers like
Anything, yeah.
yeah, and like a dark, like the new Darkrai EX, if it gets enough energy in play and just like starts one-shotting Raikous, you have to like Pikachu it, but Pikachu is pretty like, it's pretty low HP, so you'll get like return knocked out, and then you'll lose the prize rate from there.
I have liked like putting a Jolteon in that deck. I think that can shore up the dark matchup a little bit, but it's
Yeah,
like,
but
not
they have
too
delayed
great.
still too.
Yeah, it's
Like I actually think that like with Jolteon, the only matchup it's actually good against is probably like Raikou Eels because they actually don't have that great of a counter.
I mean, they might play.
Like what are they gonna
play
do?
Electros.
Like football you?
You can play
yeah,
Electros.
electric on you.
Oh, Electros?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like so bad.
No, don't say that. Slurp Shakedown is so good.
I mean, crash and burn.
Huh?
Crash and burn on them.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the bad
crash
one.
Yeah, no, Slurp Shakedown is definitely way better, but like Crash and Burn would like destroy a Jolteon.
But here's so going off what Ricky said. You said that if you play against Evital, they're gonna go after the Gallade. But I would think most Evital players are going to be really cocky and go for like the Archeops turn 1 and be like, "Ha, you can't beat me because now I got Archeops out." And the question is, can they afford getting the Gallade out and the Archeops on the same bench, or can they even get that?
Actually, based on my testing, we like cut Archeops from our list because it just felt like a lot of decks have counters to it, and it's just like it's better to get the Gallade out. Like even against Toad Crobat, you would think that blocking the Crobat damage matters, but getting the Gallade out, being able to like cycle through your deck with Premonition, it helps more than say blocking out the bat damage. From my experience.
Okay. Alright, so let's move on. Ricky already talked about Toad a little bit, but is Toad still good and expanded? Let's go with Alex first.
I feel like a broken record at this point because I'm just gonna say no. It loses to Tree.
Yep.
That's just been my finding. I really like Toad. Like Toad Crobat, one of my favorite decks, but it just always loses to Tree in my testing.
In top 4, did Toad Crobat lose to the Tree or to the Groudon player?
Which one?
In Florida, didn't Toad Crobat make top 4?
Yeah, it lost to Tree because the other
Tree.
side was a Groudon mirror.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, true, yeah, it was. Okay, alright. What about you, Simon? Yes or no to Toad?
I like Toad. Like Trainer Lock's so good, especially in Expanded, where everybody gets even more greedy. Like putting a lot more items, but I don't know. It loses the Tree, but like, what if you put in Rough Seas? Then it's just like a long battle.
But then I
I
think
mean,
it,
you
They can
like
still tree slam you.
you just don't do any damage.
I think
30 versus.
Sorry.
No.
I think we go back to what Alex said about earlier about the Raikou thing. It's going to be hard to find the rough seas. They play more stadiums, then you eventually just lose the war, I think.
No, but they're under item lock too. Like they're relying on items as well, right? So they might not hit their Dimension Valley, so they're gonna have to they're gonna whiff their energies. They're gonna
But it
whiff their
takes-
valleys eventually.
But it takes you
Like-
5 or 6 turns to, unless you get an item or a tool down quick, it takes you like 5 or 6 turns to one-shot a Trevenant Break, or even 4 turns to one-shot a Trevenant.
Yeah.
And so it's just
at
gonna take so
Oregon-
long, they have enough time to set up.
Yeah, at Oregon Regionals, like a lot of people played Toad Crobat. This one guy playing like trees just farmed all of them. Like no one stood a chance. I played Toad Crobat too for that regionals, and I don't know. It felt very underwhelming for me. Like because I played the Silent Lab version, like the one Kiana Mini played to win Calorie Regionals like week 2, and I don't know. It's like with a bat deck, it's naturally inconsistent. Like sometimes you just like draw a hand of bats and then you can't do anything. And I also like found that the Silent Labs hurt me more than my opponent, like because I have bats in my deck, and when I end to 6 and I draw like bats with Shaman in hand, I just cry.
Yeah.
Like I still managed to get 6-2, but I went into the tournament after playing round 1 and being like, I made a big mistake. I would not recommend that. It's just like, yeah.
I'm always on the Tobats hype. I always say it's a good deck. I think it could beat trees. Maybe I'm crazy, but
Maybe you are.
I know.
Maybe you are.
no, I probably am. But you know. Alright, so the next question I'm just going to answer. It says, if I have both Japanese and English cards in my deck, can I play them? The answer is no. You can only play, I guess, whatever country you're at or in. Right? Yeah? Correct? I think that's
Yep.
right.
Unless you're at Worlds and you're from Japan,
Oh,
or
there
another
was an
country that
interesting
allowed
thing-
Japanese cards.
There is
You
an
can play
interesting
English
thing
cards.
though, like
So bullshit.
you know, do you guys know like French tropical beaches? If you're an American and you play in a Canadian event, apparently you can play French beaches.
Yep.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, Kenny played it once.
Did
Uh,
it?
Jason Klaczynski actually played his entire Executor deck for day 1 last year as French cards.
No. So the answer is no. You won't be able to play English and Japanese cards in the same deck. Sorry about that. We used to be able to, but then that kind of got ruined.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this, like, aren't Japanese cards, like,
The same picture?
no, I think they're a little thinner.
Oh, are they? I don't know. I have no idea. I never noticed that. Alright, let's go to the next question. It's probably just for Simon. It says, will Plasma Lugia make a surprise appearance?
Shh. Surprise. Surprise. I've tried building it. I won't lie. I've tried building it, and
Loses trees.
yeah, it loses the trees.
Nah, man, get out the turn 1. They, like, do something and then you just one-shot them. Easy.
They start with Wobbuffet, you lose. They start with their turn 1 tree, you lose. Everything about it. Actually, if you take it like a slow route, like with Thunderous, there's a chance. A really slim chance, but I don't know.
What if they play a Silver Mirror?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
This day and age, if they play Silver Mirror, for what?
For you,
I'm scared.
like,
I'm scared of Genesect.
like a you,
for
they're
Gen-
gonna play it.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
Genesect, Flareon. It's a good
Oh yeah,
card.
Flareon too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Forget
they're
about the
really-
Vespiquen. Just worry about the Flareon.
Alright, so the next question is, will Alex Hill win another regionals
Maybe someday.
someday? Alright, the next question is, will Simon ever stop playing Plasma Lugia?
Actually, it's funny. During the in Ontario, we have a cities marathon, and obviously Lugia it was standard, and obviously Lugia's rotated, right? So I came top 4 with a Dragonite deck from Roaring Skies. The Dragonite with Delta Plus. I played it with the Melodic from Flashfire, the one that excels 3 energies.
Oh, yeah.
So you get like a turn 2 Dragonite, turn 2 Melodic, attach a double dragon, and then boom, you have turn 2 150. You just played a cancerous engine, like all items, roller skates, bikes, everything like that, shamans, Ultra Ball, more shamans. Just get that turn 2, and then you just like this was a shaman heavy format, right? So just knock out a shaman, Tiger Whistle, Lysander, kill another Shaman. 6 prizes right there. Came top 4.
Sounds dirty.
So dirty. But
Alright.
trees of thing.
Trees is a thing. It is a big thing. Alright, so the next question is for Ricky. Was Ricky the second place finisher at Oregon States?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so I guess the next real question is favorite card from the new set. Alex, let's go first.
Dude, I don't even know most of these cards.
You know
I
the
think
good
Alakazam.
cards.
Alakazam, pretty cool. Just like we haven't really had a card like this that like you evolve it to like place damage counters and then you do different damage based on the damage counters. I think it's a bit different than the stuff we have. That's pretty cool.
Alright, but let's answer the question. What's your favorite card from the set, not your favorite cards? That's
Oh
two.
my gosh.
That's two. If you
Which one even has the ability? The basic or the
Alakazam.
mega?
The Alakazam has the ability.
Alright, then it's Alakazam regular.
But you can't use the ability without the Mega.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm just messing. Alright,
What
Rick. What are you gonna
No,
say?
you're good. No, you're good.
Okay, Ricky, what's your favorite card from the new set?
I actually saw this question like last night, and I'm just like, I have not seen any of the cards, so I went to PokeBeat and looked it up. I think the new Barco was pretty cool. The one that's like, if you have your stadium in play, your opponent can't attach special energies.
Yeah.
That seems crazy, dude. Like, you shut up Toad, shut up like Night March. Seems good.
Simon's currently looking at Fates Collide to see which his favorite card is.
Thank God you picked me last. Oh my
I can literally see him like scrolling, like trying to get to PokeBeach or something to see the cards. Come on, Simon, you should know card. What's your favorite card?
Oh, I actually really like Bronze on Break. It's a tree counter.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have like good attack too?
It's okay
You know,
attack.
Bronzong has a good ability. Dynamotor.
No, but like the break doesn't have a good attack or
It's,
something.
it's an okay attack.
This card has many metal energy attached to this Pokemon as you like. For each energy, choose one of your.
No, it's only to that Pokemon.
No, it's you can yeah.
Oh, for each energy you discard, so
But the cool thing is you could pick the different attackers. So if you discard 3 energies, you could do 30 to three different, or you could do 90 to one Pokemon.
Oh yeah, dude, that like
that's
eats
actually
up
not
Night
bad.
March.
So if you discard 8, you could kill 2 Shamans in a turn. If somehow you could discard 8 metal in one turn.
Do you even run 8? Oh,
I don't know. That was the coolest thing I think of with that attack. All right. Oh man, I don't know if I like this question. I'm just gonna skip it. I don't know if anybody knows who the 4 horsemen are.
No.
No. Blake, I'll say 4 horsemen. It says 4 horsemen or TFK. Who has more studs? I'll say 4 horsemen. Because it's an all guy team, so I guess I'll say 4 horsemen. Alright. So question to all, what is your go-to deck for spring regionals? Pretty much Darkrai. And how have you adapted it to deal with emerging decks like Trevenant Break and Greninja Break? Alright, so I'm going to answer that question, or I'm going to change that question. How does Evital beat Greninja Break? We'll go with Simon first.
Chain as many hexes as you can in a row. Chain as many hexes as you can. You gotta run those puzzle of times too. Chain as many hexes as you can. That's such a bad matchup.
Alright, Ricky, you talked about how y'all cut out the Archeops. Have y'all tested against Greninja?
I didn't know that was a deck for like
Oh.
expanded, so like in standard, yeah, you can just play like Garbodor or something. A couple people played Garbodor, like Yveltal, Gallade, Garbodor to beat the Greninja matchup, and they did pretty well. But in expanded, I had no idea that was even like a thing.
It did make top 32.
That's top 32, man.
You gotta be ready for anything during Swiss rounds. Alright, what about you, Alex? How do you beat Greninja with Evital?
Archeops. The new Darkrai's pretty good too if you're playing like the Turbo version. You just like run down their whole board pretty easy. Like a friend of mine did that at a league challenge. Just like got up this huge, like got all this dark energy on the board and just like 140 a turn or 160, whatever Greninja Break has, and just mowed them down.
170.
Oh sure. I don't know. Dude, see, I don't know what any of these cards do. Like all
Dude,
I know
how are
are
you
the
getting
cards
that
that
many
I've played a
energies on the
bunch.
board though?
Dark Patch, Max Elixir. It's a
That's how
Greninja's
many, that's
slow,
all.
man. They're bad.
That's nine dark energies, right? 20 times?
Yeah, you hit him
20
with a Fury
plus.
Belt too. Also, yeah, Fury Belt's also pretty big. Like unless they're playing like megaphones or like some way to like counter those, that's like a whole extra turn is gonna take them to do stuff to you, like to knock you out. So I think that's pretty good.
All right. So I don't know how many people play this, but do any of y'all play Legacy mode on PTCGO?
Is
I
it
played
busted?
it.
Wait, which is
Junk Arm's in that format, right?
Yes.
Sounds broken.
Wait, Legacy?
Yeah,
Junk
Legacy.
Arm's not in that format.
Yeah,
Oh,
Junk
that's
Arm.
not
like-
what I'm talking
No,
No?
Junk,
No, Junk Arm's in that format.
Junk Arm is
Is
in
it?
it. Yeah, Junk Arm's is. Yeah, it's in
It's
it.
actually pretty interesting. Like, I don't think it's as broken as you think it is, because there's no VS Seeker in that format, so you can't like, and there's no Lysander, right? So you're not getting Lysander and Nightmare just like for 180 every turn.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
what?
You
like-
can, you
What's the
can Junk
format?
Arm for like 8
Like,
turns.
It's Heart Gold, Soul Silver through
All
Legendary
Legends.
Treasures.
Or Legendary Treasures, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's all the black and white sets and all the Heart Gold, Soul Silver sets.
But what are you gonna say, Ricky?
Yeah, I don't know, like, the card, there's a lot of interesting card interactions, right? Because the Heart Gold, Soul Silver cards, they have Poke Powers and Poke Bodies. So they're not affected by things like Garbodor. So you could play something like a Feraligatr Garbodor deck. So, like, okay, let's make this more, like, degenerate. Let's go Feraligatr, Garbodor, Bioplume, Keldeo. You can play that in Legacy, because the cards, like...
Oh, wow, okay. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because Vileplume and Feraligatr powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people are joking around. Like when you play Blastoise online, you don't play Blastoise, you play Feraligatr instead. If you're playing an all Keldeo deck, because you can't be shut down with Garbodor. So, so the question is, how do you feel about Legacy mode? I guess Ricky's the only one who's been playing it. So,
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's like, it's right as of right now. It's pretty much just like people playing like the old decks and reminiscing, like with like some newer cards. Maybe like you can play Celebi, Genesect, and turn 1 G booster people. But I hope it's not a real format because the cards are really hard to find nowadays.
You guys don't have old card collections that have all kinds of those stuff?
come on, guys, what are y'all doing?
Dude, I could feel
No,
like
I have like
that format, though.
Darkrai, but like.
Yeah. So, kind of what Ricky said. The thing about Legacy right now that's a problem is it's a lot of like new decks. Like Darkrai is obviously one of the best decks in Legacy just because everybody's playing it. Verizia Genesect is one of the best decks because everybody's just playing it. But I think it's like untapped right now. Like I think Electrode Prime has a lot of capability that we haven't really seen yet. Like just being able to blow yourself up, powerful Pokemon attacker is gonna be like it's gonna be really nice. But we haven't tapped into it. Enough people aren't playing it. So if you do like Legacy mode, make sure you check out Wednesdays because that's Legacy Wednesday.
Dude, you gotta play. You're missing on the two best decks in Legacy. I never played a game of them, but I see your mind on them hard. I already told you one is Mew Prime, Vanillix, Unpheasant, Vileplume.
Well,
Oh.
it's hard. It's hard to find Mew Prime, so let me
That's
know about that.
busted. And then the other best deck is Celebi, Lugia. Yeah. You hit him up, you just like load up your Lugia, slam some Plasma Energies, plus power, Deoxys, Junk Arm, one-shot stuff. I was talking to Michael Slusky about this, and he's like, oh, I put it together, and he goes and plays, and the first game, his opponent starts with a Suicune. He's like, oh, I'm going to put in a Suicune counter. I'm like, yeah, you don't need it.
Dude, Suicune and Sigilyph are both two big cards right now because there's a lot of EV
Really?
stuff going on. Yeah. Because there's no
Man.
Hex Maniac, so. I mean, you can like G Booster, but you can only G Booster so much. I don't think you can G Booster 6 Pokemon.
Hit him up with a Garbodor.
Resident Genesect Garbodor coming to you soon.
It's fine.
All right, so let's hop of Legacy mode. But if you do want to learn more about Legacy, you heard Alex talk about Michael. He runs a really good group on Facebook, Legacy Fonte. Is that what it is, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty sure it is. There's a big like article too, or not an article, like a thing where you
A
can see
Google
all.
Doc.
Yeah, it's a really good Google document. It has like all the current deck lists anybody's ever made, basically. So make sure you check it out. The group is slowly dying, and there's a lot of interest losing right now in Legacy, but hopefully it picks back up. Alright, so let's go to this question. We'll ask Alex first. How do tournaments in Canada compare to those in the US?
I mean, they're pretty similar. It's not a ton different. The only thing, and I think people give me crap about this is especially like regionals. This regionals actually usually has a really high concentration and skill. There's a lot of really good Canadian players, like Simon, Estrada, the Lesages, Curtis comes sometimes, like Matt Koo comes sometimes, Rob Davies. I mean, my opponents last year, Calvin and Andre. Like, there's a lot of Chris Vanier. I'm like, nobody get offended. I can't remember all your names, but there's a lot of you guys, and then like people from like the Great Lakes and like Illinois come too. So like Jason Galinsky was there, Kevin Baxter was there. But I mean, as a whole, it's basically the same exact thing, except you have to pay in Canadian money. So
You accept American money now, actually.
well, actually, I looked it up. The exchange rate works out, so it's cheaper to pay in Canadian money. So I'm gonna
Ooh.
change over some money and then pay in Canadian cash.
He's gonna save like 40 cents or something like that.
No, it's like $1.50, man.
Ooh, got him.
It's some big man.
Got him.
You gotta save all the money you can. I don't have my pickle sponsorship yet.
Alright, about Simon and Ricky, any of y'all played in U.S. tournaments?
Yeah, I have to play in
All the time.
U.S. tournaments pretty often
So,
because we don't have enough like cities here, so we have to like a couple guys like travel down each year to Washington to play, and it's about the same, I would say. Like, I feel like I've played against more people in the States that are like really really new, like they played like a theme deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like you don't see that as much in Canada because like in BC in particular, like the player grade, like the player base doesn't grow that much. So like pretty much everyone that's been playing has been playing for a while, and they know what they're doing. Like they'll play like their decks with like random cards in there, but like they have their reasonings for it.
But BC is a growing area, right? Like, how do like newbies come into the game? How do they? Like,
Oh yeah, well like when the newbies come in too, right? The community is fairly helpful. Like we'll tell them where to go to find information, so they're never really walking in with like a theme deck per se, or like a random pile of cards. We'll try to hook them up.
about you, Simon, anything to add on?
Yeah, the biggest difference I've noticed between Canadian and American tournaments is that like when all these big names they write articles, they say the expected meta is going to be say tree and dark, but then like if you play in a Canadian area, you're going to see a lot of random stuff actually. Like I think Canadians just don't play like the expected thing. Like for example, Nats a couple years ago, right? Top Cut was like Raybors that were like completely nobody talked about it, and then there are a couple Raybors, a couple Lugias, like off the wall kind of decks, right?
Uh-huh.
Like so a lot of players like play more, I guess, like rogue than like American players. American players, you go to a big tournament like regionals, you're gonna play what you're expecting to see, like the mainstream stuff. But if you come to like a Canadian regionals, you wouldn't be surprised to see like fairies one round,
Lugia.
random Lugia one round. You're gonna run into me round two, Lugia. You know, like
Wailord.
you would like yeah. Once you play here enough, you're not gonna be surprised if you see decks like that.
And you guys can be savage with your metagaming too. And a couple
Yeah,
years
the
ago,
metagame-
we came over
yeah.
for regionals, and we're like, "Oh, it's just Canada. You guys can use French beaches. Everybody likes Blastoise." Last time we were there, everybody's playing Blastoise. We're like, "We're gonna play Genesect. We're gonna like tech it out for Blastoise, like hard counter you guys." And like all the Americans are playing Genesect, and then we get to the top tables and like top cut, and there's a couple of guys with Raybor, just like blew us all out of the water. It was hilarious.
Yeah, metagame is big here. It's like I guess like the upcoming players, what they do is they see what the top players are playing, and then they're like, okay, well this guy's probably gonna play something like this, so we're gonna play something that hard counters that because there's a chance. Like I just have to beat a couple of newer players early rounds, and then I'll hit the better players later on, and then if I can counter them, then you know, just easy top cut like that.
So let's go to the next question from Calvin. Speaking of all people, he said, Gardevoir, is it good? think we're looking at one person right now.
I can't tell if he's if this is a jab at last year or if he's actually asking. So, in regards to last year, no, it's not good. It's actually really bad, and my list was like really terrible. This year, I think it's like decent. I haven't actually like really tested it, but I don't know. It could be good.
Wait, let's be honest. Have you tested it at all?
What, Gardevoir?
Yeah.
No, man. Like, if there was a rough seas for fairies, I think it'd be really good. But yeah, no.
Alright, so the next question is from Andrew Estrada, and he said, is Andrew Estrada confirmed winning regionals with the Evital bird flock?
Alright, so low key, Andrew Estrada like wasn't playing at all this year. He comes to Michigan. I'm like, oh, what's up, Andrew? He's like, I'm just playing for fun. I'm doing really well. So he ends up getting top 4 in Michigan with Yveltal, beating Kevin Baxter, the Yveltal mirror match champion, in top 8. And then he goes on to win 2 provincials in 2 weeks. Clean sweep of 270 CP from states, and he's either got his invite now or just barely doesn't.
He went
No,
from
he has
0
his
to like 300, basically.
So I mean, he could, but I think it's really funny that he is now like the Yveltal guy. When like Genesect and Yveltal had their big like feud back in 2014, and it was like that was the big matchup, and he's all like, "Oh, Virizion, I'm winning Worlds and stuff," and then now he's all Yveltal.
I mean, states you can play Evital. I mean, Virizion Genesect.
But now he's talking about it for now. He can play Genesect Virizion now, and it's actually a decent deck.
Well, maybe he's just saying he is going to play Evital, and then he's going to beat y'all with Virizion Genesect.
It won't. It doesn't beat Virizion or Yveltal, but
Yeah, whatever.
mind games, man.
Alright, let's go to next question. Ricky, who will be the winner of your regionals? You can't pick yourself. We're going to make y'all think. And what regionals are you going to, Ricky?
I'm going to Oregon Regionals.
No, you already went to Oregon Regionals. It's Seattle.
No,
second.
Seattle.
He's got a time machine.
Yeah, I know Chase isn't going. I think Sosa might be. No, whatever. Let's go for the two-peat. We'll say Krema's gonna get it.
Oh my gosh, no way, dude. If he goes to 2 tournaments this year and gets an invite, I would.
Oh no, he's been playing. Like he's.
Oh really?
Yeah, he got like. Yeah, dude. He's been like top 16ing and top 32ing like these states and stuff. I think he's at like 290 now.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't even know, man.
After he won Texas, he played one immediately right afterwards, and he didn't do so hot. I remember correctly.
Oh,
but,
Krema?
oh no, man! I thought you said Mayo. Sorry, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't. All right, Alex. Who are you picking to win your regionals? But not yourself.
Oh, man. Yeah, not me. I'm not gonna win anyways. It's okay.
He went from I'm going to win to I'm not going to win anymore. His confidence is losing right now. What's happening?
No, I mean like you gotta stay real with yourself. You gotta be hopeful, and you gotta rely on the luck, but you can't expect it.
Okay.
I would say Kevin, but he's not going.
He's not going.
Oh my gosh, who's my safe pick? Curtis not going. My safe pick, Zach Lesage. I think he's got something going. My wild card is my boy Sean Foisey. He can always cook something up crazy and get super lucky. So those are my picks.
If he's not playing roller skates, he's not going to win. That's my advice for Sean.
We'll play some roller skates, man.
All right, then he's going to win. All right, Simon. Who's going to win your regionals? I know it's the same as Alex's, but still.
Have to give some Canadian love. I'm gonna say my boy Jason Loam. He had a hot states run, and hopefully his momentum carries him. He's actually a bad player. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah, it would be Travis.
you said I can't pick myself, so Jason Loam.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, not Jason. He's legit. I love Jason.
All right,
He's like a teddy bear.
so
Love him.
let's see. Uh, it's a weird question. Do you agree on expanded being healthier in itself than standard? We'll go with Simon first.
Anything's healthier than standard right now, man. Night March is so cancerous. If it's not Night March, it's what? Vespiquen Vileplume? It's such a cancerous format. Battle Compressor, like, just... Oh my god. Like, at first I liked it when, Trump card was legal, right? But, like, once they introduced Shaman and you could cycle through your whole deck, it's just... It's disgusting. So, anything's better than standard right now. They're trying to make standard better by, like, introducing, like, cards like, that Barbarico. And, like, but... Yeah. I don't like the format at all. Standard.
Alright, what about you, Alex?
I think standard ended up kind of evolving into a pretty decent format. I mean, obviously Night March was like super good at the beginning, but now I think we really have four good decks: Night March, Vespiquen Vileplume, Trevenant Break, and then I really like. I think Kevin's Zoroark deck is really going to pick up. Like Kevin and Zua both played it to a lot of success, and is really good. It's like Yveltal but without any EXs, and like Zoroark, you can just do a lot of stuff. So those three decks really beat Night March. And then they have some really interesting interactions between themselves. I think the addition to end of the format also really helps it. So like state standard, I think expanded is much better than that. After regional standard with N and with the new cards, and now that the metagame is really developed, I think it's pretty close.
Alright, what about you, Ricky?
Exactly what Alex said. He's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, going off Alex said, I would actually... I know a lot of people probably would hate me that I'm saying this. I think that standard is a healthier format right now than expanded. Because, I mean, right now, if you look at expanded, like, it's definitely, like, Yveltal or Trevenant. Like, those are the two decks. Like, those are the decks. And, like, at least in standard, you could beat... I don't know. Jirachi turn 1 Trevenant is just so broke. Like, that's why Trevenant's so good in expanded.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I don't know.
And I mean, like, I think one of the big things is in expanded, there's so many different options. Like the card pool is so big, people try to do different stuff. And Trevenant just beats so much stuff. Like if you try to do cute stuff, you try to do item-based engines, you try to do like Pokemon that are frail, have low HP, they just get wrecked by Trevenant. So like Trevenant seems like it's good just because it beats so much stuff. And yeah, it's really just kind of oppressive to the rest of the format.
Alright, Ricky, do you know who Andy Lay is?
Yeah, I do. He's like a buddy of mine.
Alright, so do you understand his question or no?
I do, but we will just ignore him.
Alright, just ignore it. Fine. Next question. Alright, so if you don't know, there's also a Nationals this weekend in the UK. There's a Nationals there. There's 4 Nationals this weekend?
Yeah,
there's UK, France, Belgium, and Finland. But UK is the only one being streamed, and that's probably going to be the biggest one. Base Collide's not legal there, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly.
Nope, it's not.
So, it'd be... I don't know, it's going to be interesting for sure.
It's standard, right?
Yeah, it's standard.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what do you think will win most Nationals this weekend? There's 4 Nationals. We'll just say, if you had to pick a deck to win Nationals, what deck would you pick? Ricky first.
Probably Night March for now. And isn't legal, right?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, Night March.
Simon?
I think Yveltal, like YCG. Counter Streak, I think it's 50-50 versus Night March, depending on your build. And it's like the most like overall rounded deck, you know. Nothing too gimmicky, it's just simple strat. I think it's gonna be YCG.
Alright, what about you, Alex?
So I would play Vespiquen Vileplume with like some Jolteon. It's really good.
No, we're not asking what would you play, we're asking what would win.
That's gonna win. I'm not gonna pick the deck that's not gonna do well. I mean, it's just so good. Like Item Lock just beats so much stuff. It like auto wins Night March. Like even Kevin's Zoroark deck is like probably 50-50 or so. Trevenant is like really hard if they start Wobbuffet, but if they don't start Wobbuffet and you get the Item Lock before they do, then like you basically win. And since N is not in the format yet, you can Shaman loop them. And it is hard, but like you can win that too. But yeah, I think that's the best deck in standard.
All
Is
right.
is that the deck you won with?
I got top 4 with it, yeah.
No,
You
top
win.
4.
What'd you lose to?
I lost to Trevenant, beat him game 1 because I got the item lock first. He beat me game 2 because he got the item lock first. And then game 3, he judged me. At the end, I was Shaman looping. All I needed was to hit Shaman DC and I win because he just ends up having less cards in deck and decks out. And I hit just the DC, no Shaman, I lose.
Yeah, buddy. All right. So Simon and Ricky, y'all have to convince Curtis why would you take regional advice from him?
Well, for me, I don't know. Outside of Curtis, I have a pretty good track record. Sebastian Crema comes back 5 years after not playing at all, gets a deck from yours truly, and wins regionals, undefeated. We have our boy Simon Luong. I give him a deck like the day before Michigan State. He top 8s easily. We also have our buddy Maku in China dominating with cards I sent to him.
Is he playing over there?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
He's
dope.
playing in
Dude,
China right
I
now.
had to I had to send him like a Yveltal Zoroark deck, like a complete deck. It cost $70 to ship to China.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
Cool wood.
All right, Simon, what about you?
Well, you know I love Curtis and everything, but he went to 2 regionals. He did not top cut either of them. And then on the second trip we went together, right? And I had not played the entire like summer. Like I didn't even test for Worlds. That's why I did so poorly. I didn't test for regionals. I picked up a deck I made like the night before. Like it was 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, okay. What do I get? So I built it last second, and I came top 8. So better regionals track record in a couple hours than Curtis in two weeks, 2 tries.
Take
So
those answers. All right. So the next question is from Sam Johnston. We're gonna let Alex go last because he actually did comment on this. Simon, what's the best strategy against Night March with low HP decks like
No,
Night
against
March?
Trevenant.
Yeah, against Trevenant. Sorry, yeah. How does low HP decks beat Trevenant?
low HP decks.
Like Night March,
Go first, then go
Flareon,
ham.
Excelgor.
Go first, go ham, and then
Yeah, you have to go ham. You have to go off really quickly. You have to be able to trade with the trees right from the get go. You have to
Yeah,
have
with
at least.
trees, it's actually quite hard to stream like Trevenant if like they're knocking them out like early.
Yeah,
So if you're playing Vespiquen and Flareon, you need to get like a bunch of Pokemon into this card and start one-shotting them, and then you can probably win. But
you don't really
It
need
hinges
that.
on that for
Just
turn.
like what 9 Pokemon.
but then you have to kill the
Unknowns.
break too.
Yeah,
And-
like they're not really disrupting your energy flow, right? You just need a DCE, and hopefully you're able to knock out a couple of trees, and then yeah, you knock out one. They have to set up. They have to use the resources to set up another one. It just
That's if
it's
you
hard.
first.
That's if
That's
yeah
if
right.
you-
Yeah, but then that's the win condition, right?
Yeah.
That's the strategy. Just try to stream as fast, like set up as soon as possible. Hit fast and hard.
Playing like additional copies of Lysander, like Simon said earlier, would help too. Maybe give you one extra turn to go off.
I find that like you can set up one tree easily, but setting up like multiple trees without benching a phantom, like a vulnerable phantom, it's kind of hard, right? So like those extra copies of Lysander, I don't know. It's an option, but it's hard for sure. Especially it's so easy to get turn 2. I forgot what the attack's called.
Silent Fear.
Tree Slam, Silent
Tree
Fear.
Silent Fear. I have the deck right here actually.
That's funny. All right, so Alex, what about you?
So my answer to this, he says, what's the best strategy? And I just said lose. And it's like, just play a different deck. I mean, because by the time you get out of Trevenant, these decks are typically just, these decks are super item-based, draw engines. And you just, like, unless you go off early, you just kind of lose. So like for Night March, they get off 1 or 2 Silent Fears, you lose. Game's over, they clear your board. Against Vespiquen Flareon, like, if they set up, they can win, but like usually they don't. They don't get set up enough. They still have to evolve things, and you can stop them from like in Ultra Balls to find their evolutions. You put them on a 3 or 4 turn clock, and then they lose. Like just the spread is so hard to deal with, especially while you're item locked. And I mean, I've just never had any success with any of these decks against them. I don't like, especially also in standard. I don't know how people were beating Trevenant with Night March. I always found that to be a terrible matchup. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like, is it just bad Night March or bad Trevenant players who are losing to this, or they're just drawing bad or something? Like in expanded, now you have Jirachi. Like getting the Terma Wally is even easier. And I just could never draw under item lock like that.
Nah, you pretty much just go turn 1 and you get 8 Night Marchers in the discard, and that's how you win.
But then how do you find DCs after that?
Your deck's
Run hot.
right? Like if your deck's and like you just have to like run hot basically.
Yeah.
But so you get 8 Night Marchers in the discard pile, you have 4 left to attack with. If they use Silent Fear, or they use Silent Fear, like Dimension Valley is not getting it bumped. You use Silent Fear like 4 or 5 times, and the game's over. It's like,
yeah,
you
man,
have to
it's like
draw.
on paper it's not a good matchup, but you know, Night March
There-
There's
doesn't
not
there's-
even any.
yeah.
There's not even
That's
any
a
end in the
process.
format, man.
Yeah.
Like they can't even end you down and like make it harder for you to find Trevenants.
But like if you're knocking out trees from turn 2 onwards, right? Like how can you reliably stream that many trees, right? You have to like super run them back in
That's
eventually too.
Yeah, no, like
Well,
Alex,
it's
I
definitely
agree
hard.
with you. Like top 2 at Oregon region, like Oregon States. I played a Night March deck with Hounds, Rustic Warren Handshammer versus Totina,
Uh-huh.
and I took a game off it because I got turn 180 Life Center on a Giratina. So sometimes it just, you just get there.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I understand that. I was playing Vesca Valpo and made a slice to a Giratina, and he started the Giratina turn 1.
Wait, he attacked with the Giratina turn 1?
No. Turn 1, he attached a DCE. The next turn, I just KO'd him, and then he never got the Giratina back out.
GG.
Yep. So, I understand the strategy. I don't know. Alright, and the last question is, will Alex play the same 60 cards from regionals of last year?
I said $300 and I'll do it.
Alright, guys. So, if you
That'd be
don't
on
want
point.
Alex to do well at regionals, if you're scared of Alex, just somehow get $300.
Yeah, dude, let me tell you about my list. I played a 3-2 Mega Gardevoir line,
Oh,
I
wait, we
played,
can save it.
2 Battle
There's an
Compressors.
interview.
Yeah, like you can see it. It's a terrible list. It was like, so like I built it at like 11 or 12 at night and like played 1 game with it, and I'm like, oh, this is great, perfect, we're good. And then like one of my first games, I like Sycamored away a Mega Gardevoir. I'm like, well, now I only have 1 for the rest of the game. That's terrible. It was bad. It was like one of the worst lists I've ever put together in my life.
What'd you play day 1, though?
Executor. Yep. Best deck in the format. Went from the best deck in the format to a terrible deck. And a terrible deck list.
I'm still sad that you and Kevin didn't play same 60. Or did y'all?
No, we didn't play same 60. We said we're just going to play Gardevoir. And you can play to beat the mirror. And so like it left some open to left some room for I don't know, trying to attack and stuff. So like I played 2 EXP shares, which were really cool, and he only played 2 Fairy Gardens, thinking that I'd play 4, and I did. So then it'd be they'd be worthless cards later.
Y'all metagame too hard there.
It worked. It worked for me. But
Alright,
That's how we do it.
that's
yeah,
right.
it's hilarious.
Alright, guys. Well, do y'all want to say anything else before we head out? Simon, Alex, Ricky.
Anybody?
Any shout outs y'all want to give?
Yeah, no, shout out to sixprizes.com. Go read my article. By the time this video's up, my article all about Trevenant will be up. So that'll be pretty good. You should go read that.
Well,
if
release
you're
it
trying
early
to-
so that way it doesn't work out.
Oh, I will.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
just
it'll be up.
kidding.
It'll be up Thursday morning, man. You can go read it. Shout out to all my Polyswag boys. Shout out to all my friends in Michigan. Shout out to JW Creewall.
AW, what?
Yeah, he's a state trader. Went to Ohio, but gonna hang out this weekend. It's be legit. Shout out to all the Canadians. We're gonna hang out this weekend.
Hey.
Let's do it.
Alright, Simon, any shout outs?
Shoutouts to my boys, Team Tasting. Shoutouts to Chris Vanier, Jason Lum, Marvin Lou Benzin. We're testing really hard, so hopefully we're gonna dethrone Alex. He already said he's not gonna win, so shoutouts to Ricky, my deck supplier. He has the best ideas. give me a deck the night before, I'll play it 100%.
Oh no, I'm not prepared this time. Alright.
All right, Ricky, what about you?
I don't know. Shout out to all the players in British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon. Hope to see everyone at Seattle. Hopefully, I'll do well.
All right, guys. I just want to give a quick shout out to y'all three for doing the video. I really do appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching the YouTube video. If you don't know, we also did a Twitch, I guess, chat kind of thing right now. And yep. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Good luck to weekend at regionals, and don't worry, we'll try to do some regionals not question answers, but regionals recap interviews. Yep.
Yeah.
We're still working 6 to 6, but I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in some interviews or not. So we'll see if that's possible or not. You can ask these guys. I literally came straight from work and I'm done here. So.
Yeah, Squeaky's the man.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed to Team Fish Knuckle on YouTube, what are you doing with your life?
All right. If you don't even know what Team Fish Knuckle is, thanks, Simon. Literally had a video and said, "What the hell is this?" Thanks, Simon. You're the best. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Alright. Alright, guys. Just want to give a quick shout out to our two sponsors, 60 Cards and Yeti Gaming. The links are down below to their websites. Make sure you go check them out. Alrighty.